Welcome back to the European Football Rivalries series. In this second episode, we're heading east to explore some of the most passionate rivalries in Eastern Europe. The eternal derby between Belgrade's two giants, Red Star and Partizan, is not only one of the Balkans, but also one of the world's most intense and politically charged rivalries. This clash carries deep ideological divisions inherited from the Yugoslav era, representing a struggle between differing social classes. The hellish atmosphere created by Red Star's famous Delije and Partizan's Grobari fan groups transcends the game itself. Chants, choreographies, and pyrotechnic displays in the stands transform the match from a mere sporting event into a veritable battleground. This intense rivalry truly reflects the raw and rugged spirit of Serbian football. This fierce rivalry between Athens' two historical clubs, Olympiacos and Panathinaikos, reflects Greece's social and class divisions on the pitch. Olympiacos, representing the working class and traditional power of the port city of Piraeus, clashes with Panathinaikos, symbolizing the upper classes and intellectual circles of the capital, Athens. These matches have gained a notorious global reputation due to the fans' propensity for throwing objects onto the pitch and causing disturbances, often requiring the highest level of security mobilization. As the nation's two most successful and dominant clubs, this tension is not just about winning titles, but also about national prestige. This encounter perfectly encapsulates the passion and sometimes uncontrollable ferocity of Mediterranean football. The Eternal Derby, a battle for pride between Croatia's two major cities, Zagreb and Split, forms the backbone of Croatian football. Capital club Dinamo Zagreb represents the political and central power of the nation, while Hajduk Split from the Adriatic coast symbolizes local identity, rebellion, and a more regionalist spirit. Their fiercely loyal fan groups, Hajduk's Torcida and Dinamo's Bad Blue Boys, are considered among Europe's most radical, often causing significant incidents before and after matches. These games reflect not only the club's identities, but also the north-south cultural and regional differences within Croatia. This deeply rooted animosity, carried over from the former Yugoslavia, marks the most important and high-risk day on the Croatian football calendar. The holy war between Wisła and Cracovia, two neighboring clubs from Poland's ancient city of Krakow, encapsulates an unyielding animosity as fierce as its name suggests. Established just a few hundred meters apart, these two clubs have divided the city's fan base for decades. This rivalry is fueled not only by sporting success, but also by the club's historical and ethnic identities. The high tension, fiery atmosphere in the stands, and aggressive behavior of the fanatics make this fixture Poland's most dangerous and passionate derby. This conflict, which showcases the deep history of Polish football and the brutal side of its fan culture, is consistently a stage for major incidents. The Intercontinental Derby between Galatasaray and Fenerbahçe, the giants from the European and Asian sides of Istanbul, is widely regarded as one of the world's biggest, loudest, and most dramatic rivalries. The two clubs' long and illustrious histories, countless championships, and international successes have made this clash Turkey's premier sporting event. The colossal banners, flares, and deafening chants displayed during matches consistently capture the attention of global media. Encounters played at Fenerbahçe's Shukru Saracoğlu Stadium in Kadıköy and Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Sport Complex particularly demonstrate the immense power of the atmosphere created by the fans. This battle is not merely for league supremacy, but an unending war for the title of the nation's most successful and supported club. The Eternal Derby in Romania pits two of Bucharest's most successful clubs, Steaua and Dinamo, against each other in a fierce battle. Historically, the rivalry has roots in their former institutional affiliations. Steaua was traditionally linked to the army, while Dinamo was associated with the Ministry of Internal Affairs. This institutional background instilled a deep-seated antagonism that transcended the pitch, becoming a symbol of opposing forces. Matches are notorious for their passionate, often violent fan displays, including spectacular choreographies and pyrotechnic shows, making it the highlight of the Romanian football calendar. This rivalry remains a potent symbol of power and pride within Romanian sport. Hungary's oldest and most significant rivalry, the Eternal Derby, is fought between Budapest's Ferencváros and MTK. This historical antagonism dates back to the early 20th century, representing a clash of social identities. Ferencváros traditionally drew support from the working class, while MTK was associated with the Jewish community and a more middle-class, intellectual fanbase. These distinct identities fueled a fierce competition for national supremacy, shaping Hungarian football for decades. Though Ferencvaros has enjoyed more widespread support, MTK's consistent challenge ensured a gripping contest whenever they met. The derby is a testament to the enduring legacy and social narratives embedded within Hungarian football. The Ukrainian derby is the most significant modern rivalry in Ukrainian football, driven by the intense competition for the Premier League title between Dinamo Kyiv and Shakhtar Donetsk. This rivalry gained prominence after Ukraine's independence, symbolizing a broader east-west divide within the country. Kyiv represents the traditional capital and nationalistic pride, while Donetsk, from the industrial east, is associated with a strong Russian-speaking influence and significant oligarchic investment. The financial backing of Shakhtar allowed them to challenge Dinamo's historical dominance, leading to numerous nail-biting title races. This clash transcends football, reflecting regional identities and geopolitical tensions that have shaped modern Ukraine. The eternal derby of Bulgaria is the country's most prominent rivalry, deeply embedded in the historical and political fabric of Sofia. Levski Sofia traditionally represented the intelligentsia and a more democratic ethos, while CSKA Sofia was closely associated with the army and the communist regime during the Soviet era. This ideological divide made the derby a powerful symbol of contrasting social and political viewpoints within Bulgarian society. Matches are infamous for their explosive atmosphere, with highly passionate and often confrontational fan groups creating intense displays. This rivalry is a fierce contest for sporting dominance and a continuous battle for historical and political bragging rights in Bulgaria. The primary rivalry in Moldovan football, often dubbed the Classic, pits Sheriff Tiraspol against Zimbru Chișinău. This clash represents a divide between the Transnistrian region and the capital city, reflecting the complex political landscape of Moldova. Sheriff Tiraspol's significant financial investment allowed them to dominate Moldovan football in the 21st century, challenging Zimbru's earlier historical successes. Matches between them are crucial for the title race and embody the struggle between regional power and national pride. The rivalry serves as a rare highlight in a league often overshadowed by these two dominant forces. The derby of the Pragues, pitting Slavia Prague against Sparta Prague, constitute the fiercest and most enduring rivalry in Czech football, defining the country's sporting culture. Separated by history and ideology, Sparta traditionally represented the industrial working class, while Slavia was historically linked to the intellectual, middle-class elite. Their battle for dominance of the Czech capital and the National League title is an almost century-long affair, making it one of the oldest derbies in Europe. Ultimately, this contest is a relentless struggle for the soul of Prague football. The Slovak Clasico is undoubtedly the most heated and significant domestic rivalry in Slovakia, featuring Slovan Bratislava and Spartak Trnava. This conflict is driven by deep regional and historical antagonism. Slovan represents the capital city, Bratislava, while Spartak stands for the western region's working-class city, Trnava. Their clashes are notorious for having some of the most dedicated and, at times, most violent fan groups in Central Europe, leading to frequent security incidents. Despite both clubs being historically successful, their meetings are less about league standings and more about regional pride and historical bragging rights. This derby provides an intense and raw showcase of Slovakian football passion. The Eternal Derby of Sarajevo is the defining rivalry of Bosnian and Herzegovinian football, a profound symbol of the city's identity and resilience. Both clubs, FK Sarajevo and Željezničar, are situated less than a mile apart, creating an intensely localized and deeply personal hostility. The division transcends simple geography, representing different social and historical sections of the city. Matches are highly charged emotional affairs, often featuring incredible pyrotechnic displays and passionate fan support, known globally for its raw intensity. The derby between KF Tirana and Partizani Tirana is Albania's premier sporting rivalry, originating from the club's contrasting roots after Second World War. KF Tirana traditionally represented the city's residents and original identity, while Partizani was created by the communist regime and linked to the People's Army, instilling an immediate political tension. This institutional and ideological divide cemented a fierce, decades-long battle for dominance in the Albanian Superliga. The contests are celebrated for their highly emotional atmosphere, primarily fueled by the fan groups in the country's capital. Today, the derby represents the ongoing struggle for supremacy in Tirana, overshadowing all other domestic fixtures. The modern Belarusian Clasico features the historically significant Dinamo Minsk against the modern-day powerhouse Bate Borisov in the country's main rivalry. While Dinamo Minsk holds the weight of Soviet-era tradition and history, Bate Borisov's unprecedented dominance in the 21st century established them as the contemporary benchmark. This clash represents the struggle between the old capital institution and the new, well-organized challenger from a smaller city. Although Bate Borisov's recent success has dominated the sporting aspect, the matches against Dinamo remain the most anticipated domestic fixtures. The rivalry is crucial for determining the league champion and showcases the evolving landscape of Belarusian football. The Eternal Derby of Slovenia is the defining rivalry between the country's two largest football clubs, NK Maribor and Olimpija Ljubljana. This clash is a profound representation of Slovenia's internal regional divide, pitting the capital's prestige against the pride of the country's second largest city. Maribor, hailing from the Styria region, and Ljubljana, the nation's political and cultural center, vie fiercely for both domestic honors and fan supremacy. The matches are characterized by a heated atmosphere and colorful displays from the club's respective ultra groups. Ultimately, this derby is the most crucial contest that dictates the narrative of Slovenian football each season. The Montenegrin Derby stands as the nation's premier football rivalry, fiercely contested between Budućnost Podgorica and Sutjeska Nikšić. This match symbolizes the struggle between Montenegro's administrative capital, Podgorica, and the historically industrial hub, Nikšić. Originating during the Yugoslav era, this animosity has continued and intensified in the independent Montenegrin League, with both clubs dominating the title race. The games are intensely fought and often marked by high emotion and strong local pride on both sides of the pitch. This contest is vital for regional bragging rights and determines the annual sporting prestige across the country. North Macedonia's most traditional and intense football rivalry, the Eternal Derby, historically sees Skopje's Vardar clash with Bitola's Pelister. Vardar, the historical giant from the capital, often represents the central authority, while Pelister embodies the regional pride and distinct cultural identity of the southern Macedonian city of Bitola. The passionate support from the Komiti, Vardar, and Chkembari, Pelister fan groups generates a volatile atmosphere that frequently draws international attention. Although Vardar has been the more dominant side, the intensity of this regional feud makes the derby the highlight of the Macedonian football calendar. The Kosovo Derby is the most significant rivalry in the Kosovo Super League, primarily contested between Pristina and Drita, with the historical clash between the capital and the region. Pristina, as the capital city club, embodies the national status, while Drita, from Gilan, represents a strong regional identity and passionate fan base. Their meetings are the most attended and atmospheric fixtures in the league, symbolizing the high emotions of the newly independent nation's domestic sport. The competition is intense as both clubs regularly vie for the league title and European spots. This derby is a vibrant reflection of Kosovo's growing footballing culture and strong local loyalties. The Georgian Derby represents the nation's most historic and heated football rivalry, pitting the capital city's Dinamo Tbilisi against Torpedo Kutaisi. Dinamo Tbilisi, historically the Soviet giant and a symbol of Georgian footballing excellence, often clashes with the persistent challenge from the country's second largest city. This antagonism is rooted in a deep-seated regional pride, with the matches embodying the cultural difference between Tbilisi and the Western Imereti region. The rivalry is crucial for national prestige and provides the most dramatic atmosphere in the otherwise smaller Georgian league. This is the ultimate battle for footballing supremacy across Georgia. The premier football rivalry in Armenia is the Yerevan Derby, historically featuring the legendary Ararat against the dominant modern force, Pjunik. Ararat carries the weight of history, being the only Armenian club to achieve major success in the Soviet Union, making them a symbol of national heritage. Pjunik, however, has dominated the league in the post-Soviet era, leading to a clash between tradition and modern sporting success. His highly localized contest dictates the rhythm of the Armenian Premier League, with the capital city being the central battleground. The derby remains vital for bragging rights in Yerevan and is Armenia's most significant fixture. The classic derby between Neftchi Baku and Karabakh FK is the most significant rivalry in Azerbaijani football, a defining battle for national supremacy. Neftchi represents the capital's tradition and historical success, while Karabakh, originating from Agdam, carries a powerful national and emotional significance. This conflict is about more than just football. It symbolizes a clash of historical prestige against a strong modern narrative of resilience and identity. The matches are intensely competitive, often deciding the league title and European spots. Ultimately, this derby is a showcase of Azerbaijani football's past glory versus its present ambition. The Kazakhstan Clasico is the country's main modern football rivalry, fought between Astana and Kairat Almaty. This clash represents the competition between the nation's new political capital, Astana, and its historical, largest economic and cultural center. Kairat carries the weight of history and fan tradition, while Astana's dominance in the last decade is underpinned by modern infrastructure and strong state support. The constant battle between these two titans often determines the winner of the Premier League. This rivalry symbolizes the national struggle between established tradition and the ambition of Kazakhstan's new era development. The main Moscow derby between Spartak Moscow and CSKA Moscow is the most historic and politically charged rivalry in Russian football. This antagonism is rooted in Soviet history. Spartak was traditionally seen as the people's team, while CSKA was the official team of the Soviet army, creating a deep ideological division. The fan bases are among the largest and most passionate in Eastern Europe, guaranteeing a ferocious atmosphere and spectacular pyro displays during every encounter. This clash is about more than football. It's a relentless battle for the cultural and sporting soul of the nation's capital. This intense rivalry often overshadows the league competition itself, making it Russia's premier fixture. And there you have it, a journey across Eastern Europe and the Balkans, where football is never just a game. Join us next time as we head north to explore Part 3, Northern Europe, where we'll brave the freezing temperatures to uncover the sectarian divisions of the Old Firm in Scotland, and the fierce capital city rivalries across Scandinavia and the Baltics.